What's up everybody, Chris Gault here, Healthy Living with Chris Gault, and today we're going to talk about how to go vegan, a beginner's guide, and we're going to start right now. So make sure you've watched the whole video because I'm going to go over all these tips and they kind of go together. So you want to get the full benefit, watch the whole video and then make sure you take action if you want to actually try a vegan lifestyle. And remember Newton's law that a body at rest stays at rest and a body in motion remains in motion unless a force is acted upon them. Meaning basically that you can't make changes to your life unless you change something in your life. So if you want to try to go vegan, then you're going to have to change something in your life, obviously, if you're not vegan already. So just know that. And first, I just wanted to say that I'm not pressuring anybody to go vegan. This is a very personal choice, and everyone has to make their own decision on what's good for them. So I just want to make sure that when I'm giving these points, this is really for people who want to know something about the vegan lifestyle and how can they actually start it if they want to try it. So just wanted to throw that out, and I'm just going to give you some information basically on my experience so far. I've only been vegan for almost a year now, so I haven't been vegan that long, but I think I'm proof though that you could actually change your whole lifestyle at any age, because I am 59 right now, and in April coming up I will be 60, and I made the change to veganism very late in life. So basically an old dog can learn new tricks, so just know that this old guy has actually went vegan late in life. And I was a big meat eater, so I just wanted to throw that out. I was a big meat eater when I grew up. I grew up in an Italian family and we did eat meat every night. But so I was used to that. I never really thought I thought that's what dinner was, but I was able to break away from that. So just throwing that out that yes, if I can make a change to veganism, anybody can do it. So just want to throw that out. I also just want to say before I get into this is I'm not a doctor and I'm not a certified dietitian. So if you have any worries or concerns about going to a vegan diet, make sure you talk to your doctor, or if you have a certified dietitian in your life, make sure that you talk to them if it makes you feel better. So I just want to throw that out that I'm not a doctor, so everyone reacts differently to everything. I do feel that the vegan diet is something that everyone pretty much can live with, but there are always going to be exceptions out there. All right, so the first thing that I would say in trying to go vegan is to really have a strong why and to know what your why is. So, because that's what will keep you going, because once you start to get the temptation to go away from the diet, you could always go back to your why, and your why is always going to be the thing that's going to drive you back. So some people, they do it for different reasons. I started doing it for health reasons. The other two reasons why people go this route is for the animals, and because what I've learned is that the animal agriculture industry is extremely cruel, whether it be meat or eggs or dairy. It's very cruel. So I feel now that is a big why for me. Also for the environment, that's the third reason why people go vegan, is because if you look at animal agriculture in itself, it actually contributes more to greenhouse gases than all the automobiles in the world. So if we can move towards more of a vegan diet, then not only is it good for our own health, it's good for the animals, and it's also good for the environment. And it's also would help feed the whole world, because we grow an awful lot of food that we use to feed the animals. And it takes tons and tons of food just to produce a little bit of meat or animal products. So really, you look at it, it's not really worth what we're doing, but we do it. The next tip would be to get your mind right. So if you look at it as an adventure and a way to get healthy and a way to help out the world and the animals, then you're gonna have a better chance of actually succeeding on this diet. But if you look at it as in you're depriving yourself, oh, I can't have that steak, I can't have that ice cream cone, then then it's going to be very difficult to get through this if you're always looking at it as, okay, I got to give up something. So always look at it as, okay, I get to try new things, and there's a lot of great things that you'll try when you're on a vegan diet, and there is vegan ice cream even out there that you can have, and to me it tastes pretty good. So just throwing it out that if you go in with the mindset that yes, I can do this, and this is going to be fun, and I'm going to learn new things, and I'm doing a great thing for myself and the animals and the environment, you're just going to have a much better chance of succeeding on this diet as opposed to going in with a negative attitude. So okay, try to get your mind right on that, and always look at it on the best side. And if it means hanging around with people that are more positive than negative, then make sure you do that, because it is easier if you hang out with people who are actually also like-minded. And my wife and I are both vegan now, so it made it a lot easier to go through this, to tell you the truth. The other thing is, you don't have to go through it all at once. So I went cold turkey because that's just kind of just the personality I have, and I haven't looked back, and I'm doing fine doing that. And there's a lot of people who can do that and will be fine with it, but not everybody can do that. So if it works better for you, you can always, like, let's say you give up beef first and you just don't eat beef, and you do the rest of what you've been doing, and then maybe the next thing you give up is pork, and then the next is chicken, and you move on. Eventually you get to eggs and dairy, and boom, you've gotten there because you've slowly got there. You could also do it where maybe you say, okay, well, right now I eat meat every day of the week, so I'm gonna not eat meat on Mondays. Okay, so then you don't eat or consume any animal products, let's say it's animal products, on Monday. And then if that goes well, and then you can say, okay, well, you know what, maybe I'll skip it on Monday and Tuesday. And then you can keep going, and you know the pattern. And eventually you can, maybe give it up for the whole week, and then maybe you just do that for the rest of your life. So there's a way to get there. Some people just do it well cold turkey like I did, but some people are going to do it better the other way, where they gradually go into it. And if you make a mistake here and there, just get back on the boat. I'm lucky I haven't really made a mistake, although I'm sure that I might have eaten something that might have had some butter in it. Even though I asked for vegan, there might be a chance that something I had might have had some butter in it. So I do the very best that I can to stay as vegan as possible, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty good at it. But I know that there's been cases where maybe something got slipped in there. But anyway, don't beat yourself up if you slip a little bit. Just keep going forward, because you can't change the past, but you can change the future. So just know that. One thing is to make sure you really stack up on vegan basics. So make sure the house is always filled with food. That's really going to help out. So make sure you have veggies in there, fruits, beans, nut butter, tofu, plant-based milks, etc. You just want to make sure that you have enough food in there, because one of the ways that I actually curb cravings for animal products is to be full all the time. Because if I get hungry, then I start craving something like maybe a ham sandwich or something. So what I do is I make sure that I'm full all the time. And I eat 6 times a day. I think that's the best way to go. I don't believe in the whole intermittent fasting thing. I know that everyone has a different way to go, and I'm not judging anybody, but I like to eat 6 times a day. I think it keeps me in fat burn, and it also keeps me full, and that way I crave less. So I just want to say that. And also, time is going to curb your cravings. So the longer you're on this lifestyle, the more you'll not want it. I even remember it back when I was in college and I gave up sodas. And at first I was drinking so much soda, it was ridiculous back there. And there, when I was a senior in college, I just completely gave them up. And it was really tough in the beginning because I just craved them. But I can tell you right now, the last thing I want to drink is a soda. And I haven't had a soda in years and decades. And I just have no craving for it. So the other thing is time. So it would be tough maybe in the beginning, but as you go through, it's going to get easier and easier and easier, because you're going to lose the taste for animal products and you're going to gain the taste for the new foods that you're going to be adding in, all the veggies and all the fruits and all the great stuff that you're going to be adding in. So the other tip I'm going to have is It all starts at the grocery store. So if you don't buy animal products, you won't have them in your home. And then if you don't have them in your home, you can't eat them if you get some cravings, right? I mean, you can always order like food, I guess, but you know, not all of us do that. So it's easier if it's in the cabinet or in the refrigerator, and you're going to pull it out and you're going to eat the animal product. But if it's not there, you can't eat it. So one thing I would always suggest is, you know, when you're at the grocery store, first of all, you go when you're full when you go to the grocery store, because that way it'll stop you from buying stuff that you ordinarily wouldn't buy, and you're just gonna buy it on a whim because you're hungry. So if you go full, you'll go buy the stuff you have to have. Have a list of what you need to have, and just stick to that list, and make sure it's mostly produce, and make sure you know it's all non-animal products, and you're gonna be okay. And just stay away from all the animal product stuff. So make sure that. I know that it's harder for people who are vegan in a family that is not vegan, because then the food's going to be all over. So as much as you can, try to, and I know it's difficult, you can't really convince people, but if there's any way you can get in a situation where the people in the house are also vegan, that will help out. My wife and I are both vegan, so we don't have any animal products in the house at all, and that just makes it very easy for us so we don't get tempted. And so at first I was also going to say, this is another tip, is if you really like the taste of meat, which I did, and you could always go for the mock meats. And every once in a while I'll have them as a treat. They're not the healthiest things, but they are okay, and they get you past that. They can get you past that craving. So Impossible Burger and meat it just tastes like a hamburger. Beyond Meat also has some great products, and there's other meat crumbles, there's chicken, there's tofurkey. I mean, all that stuff comes close. I mean, it's not 100% perfect, I'll be honest with you, but it gets close. And the Impossible Burger is probably the closest in taste that I've ever had, and look, that I've ever had. Now, again, they're processed, so it's not the healthiest thing to have, so I wouldn't recommend eating that stuff your whole life, you know, every day. But I would, you know, bring them in a little bit at a time here and there, so that you can curb some of those cravings. The other thing is, you can get vegan cheese. So if you really like cheese, now it doesn't taste as good as real cheese again, but it could satisfy you at that point. So there's a lot of vegan cheeses that are out there. A lot of them are made out of cashew milk, so it's close. So I would say check those out. But again, just don't overdo it, and try to get as much organic raw vegan products in that you can, and your body is going to really thank you for that. The other thing is a lot of vegans forget to not get their macro breakouts in, and I'm really big about the macro breakouts. So the macros would be, you know, lean protein, good carbs, and healthy fats. So you want to make sure you're getting 40% around 40% lean protein, 40% good carbs, and 20% healthy fats. Now, can you get that on a vegan diet? Absolutely, you can. You definitely can, and I do. Can you also go a certain way in vegan and not get it and be deficient in those macros? Yes. So you have to be very careful and make sure that you are going after proteins. And there's a lot of vegan protein out there. I mean, there's quinoa, and there's tofu, and there's seitan, and there's all sorts of stuff. Tempeh is another one, and there's beans, and there's legumes, and nuts, and there's so much stuff that's out there that actually has a good breakout of lean protein, good carbs, and healthy fats. So make sure that you get those in, so that way you're not going to have a problem. When you're tempted to think, you know, you have to go back, and I'm going to go back to that why. When you're tempted, go back to your, you know, to your why. Why am I doing this? And like, I do it now for all those three reasons, you know, for my health, the animals, and the environment, what I said. So my why is very strong because I'm doing it for all three. And sometimes all it takes is I just have to think about the pus that is in dairy products. You know, because if you get a glass of cow's milk, you know, it could be filled with pus in there. You know, if you don't believe that, go look it up, and you'll see that there's a certain amount of pus that's allowed in dairy milk. So you're drinking that pus. And when I say pus, yes, that's stuff where if you get a wound, and that's what it is. So basically, you're drinking some very foul stuff when you're doing that. So every time I look at a cow's milk, that's all I see is a glass of pus. The other thing is, if you look at a steak, you know, it's filled with cow's blood. I mean, think about that. It's just cow's blood. So some of those kind of things, and also there's a lot of potential diseases that come out of consuming animal products. And so that all helps me keep course and not go. So I really do think of my health, so I stay away from the animal products for that. But also I've seen the cruelty in the animal agriculture industry, and also I like the fact that I'm doing something for the environment. So all those things are a very strong why that says, yeah, that ice cream cone looks good, but I'm not going to do that because I'm going to do my part. So anyway, that's what I fall back on and keeps me going. One thing I do want to make sure it suggests is that make sure to take a good vegan multivitamin that has vitamin B12 in it. And I look at vitamins as an insurance policy. So you try to get all your vitamins through your food, but sometimes you can't get it all through your food. So, and especially B12. B12 is a very difficult vitamin to get, and I do have a video on that you can check out what B12 even is and why you have to have it, because it's essential to your body. So just, you can look at that video because this video is already getting kind of long and you can see what it's about. But what's great about a vitamin pill is, yeah, you're going trying to get your vitamins from other things, but the vitamin is going to be an insurance policy and is also going to make sure you get your B12 in. One thing I also would suggest, just something that I did, is get a blood test before and after going vegan. So I got it before, and then several weeks later I got it after, and my cholesterol level dropped like a rock. All my other levels were perfect. So I'm in great shape right now. I'm in the healthy level for cholesterol. It was a little bit high. I've never been on any kind of medication, and now going this route, my cholesterol level has actually dropped. I mean, it was like 40 to 50 points, somewhere in that range. And so just know that this diet's also going to really help your blood out. And so, but you also want to get the blood test because you want to see if anything has changed, and maybe you're not getting, if you're going to start being deficient in something and the blood test shows you that, you may have to up on something. So if it's iron, you might want to eat some vegan iron type of products or take an iron supplement and make sure that your iron isn't getting low. So just make sure that you do that, and that way you'll have a good idea of what it's doing to your body. One thing I just want to say too, and a lot of people do this, but they really beat themselves up if they slip, and I talked about this a little while ago, but I just really want to stress it again, is, you know, it's okay if you mess up. People mess up all the time. We're only human, and all you have to do is just go forward again. Just keep going forward and know that you can change the future, but you can't change the past. I know I said that already, but I just want to knock that in because it's very, very important that everybody knows that. So that's all I really had to say, and I'm just wondering, what did you get from this video? Are you going to go vegan, or are you already vegan? And are you already vegan and you have other tips that I didn't talk about that you would like to share? Please put all those in the comments below, and I'm gonna join you there because I would love to see what you have to say. Also, if you like the video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. That way YouTube will push this video out to others that can benefit from it and maybe join the vegan lifestyle, or at least learn about it. So make sure you do that. And also, if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that bell notification, and that way you'll be notified every time I drop a healthy living video. And currently I drop them on every Thursday and every Sunday, so it's 2 a week, and they're all about health. And if you know anybody who can use healthy living videos like this one, make sure you share this video and the channel with them so they can join in on all the fun. And for more tips on how to live a happier, healthier life, 2 videos are going to pop up, and you can click on any of those videos and you can continue your happy, healthy living journey. And I'll see you all soon.